morning, Ashley was asking Joel to take me to Mexico, but that was like a few days ago. Well, I went to Mexico this morning. The first scenario was kind of weird. I had two, and the funny thing is, when I laid down, he pulled me out. He pulled me out of body, and it's been a while since I've kind of felt that feeling. But yeah, I was laying there, and then it's like I could feel. I was like, this doesn't feel like, like reaction to chemicals and shit. And then I knew it. I knew that he, like pulled me out. They used to do that all the time. I mean, like every night. But it's just lately I haven't really been feeling that feeling for quite some time or whatever. But last night, yeah, I laid down, so he pulled me out, and sure enough, with that, it's ass backwards out of body experience, basically. So then after I fall asleep, then he uses that, astral body, astral essence, ethereal essence or whatever, to give me the scenarios. They weren't really fun scenarios, but still, they were pretty bizarre. The funny thing is, I've been to many other countries, Romania and Cambodia, and was it Guatemala? I think. Yeah, I think Guatemala. But they never. Actually, they did give me experience before to like Acapulco. I never did do a video on that. That was many years ago. A virtual reality, OBE VR lucid dream, but like I say, that one never made it to video. But yeah, because I was like, we never actually took me to straight up Mexico. So this morning I went to Mexico. But anyway, so the first experience was very bizarre. Okay, and so the funny thing is, the second experience was to Mexico. And then when it ended, it's like I felt him, kind of like throw my astral body back into my physical body, and then boom, like I woke up, and I'm like, wow, that's so weird, because normally when I feel that feeling, it's when like I'll break the sleep cycle, I'll get up and go pee pee or whatever, I'll lay back down, and then I'll start talking to him or whatever, and then boom, he'll take me right before I fall asleep, and then I'll start astral traveling. Like my consciousness, he'll astral travel with me with my consciousness or whatever. I'll start traveling, and then at the end of that kind of out of body experience, it's like I'll kind of feel like it's like that's the only way I know how to describe it. Like he kind of like throws you back into your physical body, and then like boom, then you kind of like travel down into your physical body. And then boom, you like wake up. Like I had that feeling this morning, after the second experience, and I'm like, yeah, that's proof right there that yes, he did take me out of body, right as I lay down, and normally they used to do that all the time, every night as I lay down, but and he has been doing that occasionally, but normally it would be like every night, many years ago or whatever, and then and I don't know if I just hadn't been paying attention or what. Or maybe he decided to do it like when I was already asleep, kind of take me out. But normally they do it right when I'm awake, right when I lay down. Joel does it, and maybe other beings too. But yeah, so last night, right as I lay down, I felt, that weird feeling like he's pulling my astral body out. And that's proof right there. He gave me those two experiences, and then at the end, he threw me back in my astral body, so to speak. Like, not hard. They can kind of, like, throw you hard. I know what that feels like when he kind of shoved me back. but this time it was just well, you know, it was just, you can kind of tell when they just kind of push you back into your astral body or whatever. I mean your physical body, and then boom, you wake up. It's so weird. But yeah, they weren't just super fun or anything, but they were kind of bizarre. The first one was very bizarre. Okay, so so the first one. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, it's my sister. Okay, I felt like I was in a strange town. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what town I was in, but so he okay, so he put me. He placed me in a house. I was walking around this house, and that's when the scenario started. I was in this house, and basically it was one of my sister's friend's mother's house, and the mother was in it, and my sister and her friend, and there was like a couple other people. I can't remember if my mom was in it or not. I think she could have been in it, but I can't remember. But I know my sister and then her friend and the mother was in it, and a few other people. And my real dad was in it, my biological dad. But the funny thing is, in this scenario, it's like, I was like, you know, like maybe 30 years old. And then my real dad, of course, was like 50 years old. And because he was a lot younger. And I think as far as I remember, I was supposed to be kind of younger too. But I'm not positive about that. But my real dad, he looked, you know, 20 years like younger, or maybe even 25 years younger, like 45, and he was real, you know, thin and everything. But that's, you know, I already knew all of that prior to this experience from what I heard. And so anyway, basically, okay, so I was just walking around this my sister's friend's, you know, house. Well, she was still living there, but it was the mother's house. And so I did have blind people on the brain recently. You know, I had those terms and stuff on the brain, like blind people, blah 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 blah. I did have that on the brain, and so Joel put that in the scenario. The mother, because I was walking around, and we were talking and stuff like that, and I got a really good look at the mother. You know, I honed in on the mother, her face and everything. Her hair was she was an ugly woman. She had short hair, grayish, blondish, short hair, and glasses. She had glasses on. And I know Joel was trying to copy off of somebody that I've seen before. And she was like, I knew that she was going blind. And so when I honed in on her face and her features and everything, and she, like I say, she wasn't an ugly woman. And she was kind of like, you know how some blind people look, you know, it looks like they're always squinting their eyes, and that's what she was doing. She had glasses on, and she was kind of like squinting her eyes, you know, but I knew she was going blind, and so that part was kind of weird. And okay, but the other part I'm getting to was very, very, very weird. Okay, so we were just kind of like roaming around the living room. My real dad. Well, so I had been talking to him lately in real life over the past couple weeks or whatever, and so anyway, Joel put him in my scenario, and I think I already kind of know what he looks like. I mean, I know what he looks like in younger pictures. I don't really know what he looks like now. He probably looks pretty bad now. But I know what he looks like, you know, when he was younger, because I have pictures of him or whatever. And so basically, to the right of the living room, there was another room, and he was like I say, he was only like 45 or 48 in this experience, and he had like blue jeans on, and it almost kind of looked like maybe like a blue jean jacket too, and yeah, and he was kind of thin. He wasn't real tall or anything. he's not real tall in real life or whatever, but I know he's kind of thin because he told me he was, because he doesn't eat a lot of bread and shit. And plus he's got major health problems. Guess he was hardcore alcoholic all of his life, and that screwed him up real bad. But yeah, so he was over there in the other bedroom. I mean, in a bedroom. I don't know if it was a bedroom, but it was a room off to the right of the living room. And he was hunkered over. He was leaning down. And I can't remember why he was leaning down. I probably already kind of forgot some pieces. But so then he stood up and then turned back around. And he's like, I want to hypnotize you. And like I said, this was really bizarre. And hey Tori, come here. And he put his hand like right on my face. I mean, it was all very, very physical. He put his hand on my face, and I could feel his I mean, on my whole face, my whole mouth, my whole face. I mean, like I say, it was very, very physical. He put his hand. Now, you better not knock the phone over. Now, get over here. Tori. I'm getting hot. Okay, yeah, so he put his hand, I think it was his right hand. He put it over my face and mouth, and I felt myself like, go about 5 notches under an altered state of consciousness, like bam, 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 bam. I felt myself like go under. This is all freaking so real and realistic. And so then after he put me in a hypnotic trance, get up here. After he put me in a hypnotic trance, I was walking around the living room, and I'm like, okay, I mean, isn't he supposed to ask me questions or something? But he never did. And but I was walking around, but I was alert. I was very alert and very conscious. I was walking around this house, which is kind of a strange house, but it was my sister's friend's mother, the blind woman mother's house. And the mother looked about 60s. And I think Joel got that from, because I see this woman all the time walking down the street, and I know who she is. She has this daughter named Stacy, and she was my friend's. I mean, my sister's friend. Like in junior high school and elementary school, and they still live in the neighborhood, and the daughter still walks around with her around the neighborhood, the mother. And so I think Joel put all of that in here because of that, that theme or whatever. But anyway, so I was walking around the house, and I mean, I literally felt like I was in an altered state of consciousness. I mean, I was in an altered state of consciousness. Like, I felt like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, it was so weird. But like I say, I was normally if you're going to sit there and hypnotize somebody, they're not going to be all alert and get up and walk around the damn place or whatever. They stay still laying down. But that's not what I was doing. I was literally like walking around under this hypnotic trance. And I mean, I could feel it. I mean, I could totally feel it. Like almost like if somebody just gave you drugs and you were walking around the house. Except it did not feel like drugs. It literally felt like I was under a hypnotic trance. Bam. And, well, the reason why Joel did that, I mean, the reason why I know what that feels like was because back in real life in 2013, that's when I got Tora. 2013, these two women came over and tried to put me in a trance, but it didn't work. But it worked one little notch. When they were trying to put me in a trance, I kind of felt real weird, like I went under one little notch. But in this scenario, I went under 5 notches, bam, 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 bam. And I mean, I literally was in a trance. I mean, I was literally in a hypnotic trance, but I was very alert and aware, and I was walking around I felt kind of like I was high or something, but I wasn't high. It was just, I literally felt like I was in a trance. I literally was in a hypnotic trance. But I was walking around, and I was still alert, and I was looking at, everybody, like my sister, the friend, the mother. and my real dad, I guess, started walking around the house. But I'm like, okay, what's the point of this? Like, isn't somebody supposed to ask me questions or something? But it was so weird. I mean, that was the weirdest thing ever. But they've given me, Joel's given me really weirder experiences than that. But anyway, and I know I'm probably forgetting a few details, but I mean, no, it was fun, but it was bizarre. Um, I guess, well, if you hypnotize somebody, yeah, I guess you could tell them to get up out of bed and walk around, but that's not what this was all about or whatever. Um, I mean, when people regress people or whatever, they it's sort of the same thing, but they just stay still or whatever in the bed or whatever. But yeah. So he put me in a hypnotic trance for whatever reason. I have no idea why. And because it's not like he told me, oh, you're gonna go walking around the house. He literally put me in a hypnotic trance, and I started walking around the house. And he wasn't supposed to be regressing me and asking me questions or anything like that. That was his only thing, was just to put me in a hypnotic trance. But it was just bizarre. I mean, it was bizarre. And, yeah. So anyway, so that was the first scenario. Okay, so then, the second scenario, well, I was in this other house, but I was in Mexico. And, like basically, okay, so this, wasn't part of the scenario, but, so, this woman with dark brown hair, I used to work with her at, Tony Roma's, and, she used to live down the street. I don't know if she still does. She used to live down the street with this other person, and if she was older than me, I don't know if she still is living down there, but it was her 100% or whatever, replica. And it was like me and her. It's like she lived in Texas, and for whatever reason, I was visiting her, but like all of that wasn't physically part of the scenario. And then bam, like me and her go across country lines, and boom, and we're in Mexico at her other house or whatever, in Mexico. And I was like, so at this point I was walking around her house, and she was in it, and I think there was a couple other people in it, but I can't remember who they were. And so I asked her, I was like, wow, we're in Mexico? And I was like, how did we not go through border patrol? And she's like, well, we just went the back way. And then I looked outside, like I don't know if I was looking out a window or the door, but I looked outside, and then boom, like I saw these two, deserted roads, that was totally, like no cars or anything was on them, like they were back roads or whatever. That they were back roads or whatever, and that's how we came to Mexico from Texas. We went the back way. So then, yeah, and like I say, it was just two small lanes, two small roads, and just green scenery to the left and to the right. There wasn't any cars or anything on it, and that was the back roads. And that's how we went over to Mexico. That's how we drove over to Mexico, was the back way, like she said, the back roads. And that's when she like showed me, and I was like, oh wow, And it was sunny. It was very, very sunny outside. And then at one point, and we had conversations and stuff in the house. At one point, I walked outside, and I was like, wow, it feels about 89 degrees out here. And it was super sunny, 89 degrees. and I could feel it. I could feel it and everything. It felt like Mexico. It felt 89 degrees. It was sunny. And I was like, wow, I'm pretty sure they can grow watermelons here all year round. Because Joel knows that I like watermelons, and right now it's really hard to find watermelons. And well, and if you do, they're all rotten because they're freaking rotten by the time they get here from Arizona or Mexico or wherever. But and I'll have to go check all these because I think it was this time last year I went in there and that's when they started carrying the smaller ones. I'm pretty sure it was December. So I need to check all these. But anyway, so Joel knows I had that on the brain, the watermelons, and that I've been wondering if they could grow watermelons in Mexico all year round, which they probably can. But in real life, those last ones that I got, I looked at the label and it looks like they're coming from Arizona. I don't know if they could grow watermelons all year long in Arizona because on the watermelon it says a product of Mexico. So I don't know where the hell they're being grown, either Arizona or Mexico or both. But yeah, I did get a pretty good one about, I don't know, it may have been a month ago now. Or maybe about 3 weeks ago. I think I got a good one and ate it about 3 weeks ago. And then I haven't gotten any since because they're all rotten or you go there and they may get some good ones in and then they get bought like really fast. But yeah, so that was cool. I mean, that was all virtual reality. I mean, because I went outside and I was thinking too, I was like, wow, because I knew back home it was just like, in the 40s or 50s, I knew back home it wasn't any warmer than 40s or 50s, because I knew that I was in Mexico and, I knew, the state I lived in, it was much, much colder. So I was having all those thoughts and stuff. But when I went outside, man, it was like just pretty, green trees and stuff. And sunny. It was summer basically. Well, it's always summer in Mexico. And I did go to Acapulco in real life. Back in 1989. But yeah, it was fun. I stayed 2 weeks. But it's really grown since then. It wasn't like that back then. It wasn't all busy and grown up like that. But yeah, like these experiences, it's not like they were real fun or anything. But they were just kind of weird. Or at least the first one was very, very weird. And, I mean, there wasn't much to the second one. But, man, I just can't believe Joel put her in my experience. I mean, I don't think actually, I think I was thinking about, I think I maybe, like, was, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't thinking about that woman, any, like, lately. But sometimes when I drive down that road, in real life, that road that I always drive down, and I look over to the left, there's a dead-end road that's where they used to live, in the little cul-de-sac thing. Well, now it's a cul-de-sac thing because they built some houses right there, but it's still like a dead-end road, but it's like a little cul-de-sac or whatever. And so, yeah, but I don't specifically remember thinking about, wait, I'm trying to think. No, I think I did, though. Yeah, I was, because, let me think. Yeah, I was thinking about that woman that I used to work with at Tony Roma's, the one that I'm just talking about. I was thinking about her because, where was it? I was at the store or something, and I saw this woman pull up or something like that. And I thought it kind of like looked like her. See, because I haven't seen her in a long time, so I don't know exactly what she would look like now. All I know is she's probably at least 10 years older than me or more. And yeah, so I guess that's why Joe put her in the scenario because, yeah, I think I was at the Price Cutter, I think. And I either saw her pull up in a car, but I don't know if that was her or not, in a car, or I saw her walking around or something, and I thought it kind of looked like her. Yeah, so I actually was thinking about her. Yeah, but anyway, it was just kind of weird, but I know there was probably some other parts. I mean, well, actually, I don't think there really was any other parts, but I know we had conversations and stuff, and I can't remember the exact conversations we had and all that. But yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a boring experience, except for going outside and actually, you could actually feel the feeling of Mexico and the summer and the heat and everything. That all of that was virtual reality. And then, and so was the hypnotizing thing. That was all virtual reality. And then, of course, at the end of this Mexico experience, I felt that feeling like bam, 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 like, like my astral body, like Joe putting my astral body back through my brain consciousness, and bam, bam, bam. You know, it's really weird. You'll have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. And that's the feeling that I always get when he abducts me in that other manner, which he hasn't done in a long time. He's been giving me, you know, the ass backwards one, like taking me out of body, like right when I lay down. Like in a minute, I'm gonna go lay down and go to bed, and he'll probably, I'll be still for a few minutes and see if he takes me out. Um, but yeah, as far as the ones where I get up and break the sleep cycle, and then I lay back down, and then I start talking to him, and then bam, if he takes me that split second before I fall asleep, and then he starts traveling with me and stuff. He hasn't given me experiences like that in a long time, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm still getting them. He's just doing them in different ways, you know. But I like the ones, you know, I like the ones that are a lot more clear and shit. I mean, if he does it that other way, they're more memorable. The details are more easy to remember and all that. If he does it that other way, instead of more in the deeper dream state or whatever. But I'm still getting a bunch of shit. I'm still remembering most of everything. But anyway, thanks for listening.